Is a lot transitioning out of the military, a lot, and I am so thankful and grateful that I did booster suits, just because of what they provided, the help, you know, not just to become a better individual to get a different job, but to help me in the transition because I thought I was prepared, but it's a lot that goes with it. A lot that goes with. You see the checklist of numerous things you need to hit: housing, money, BA, uh, clothing, um, family, different jobs. So it's so many things that goes with it, and it was stressful.
That's interesting you say that too, because a lot of that what you're talking about right now is sort of a physical transition, but it's that mental transition as well. It's when the dust settles, right? The reality of things really start to integrate. It starts to resonate. And I remember in my case, and I said this in the past, and I don't want to keep dwelling on it, but I know I lived in my truck, for a while just because I distanced myself emotionally, right? I was angry. I'm not gonna lie. I came back to a civilian world that in my mind in many regards was unsat. In my mind, trying to assimilate from what I felt was the gold standard, and that's being totally squared away in all areas of life, physically, mentally, and everything, to go into a civilian world that not only didn't embrace us necessarily at that time, a lot of them did compared to the Vietnam era. My dad
Yep.
did a couple tours in Vietnam, so we were much better than that era. But it was really that mental disconnect that I had to come in and get my head out of my ass and say, you know what, stop making excuses. So it was this mental transition. How's that been for you?
So for me, that one, actually, what helped me a lot was transitioning from the infantry or the ground side to postal.
Hmm.
So I was lucky enough, or cursed, going from infantry for 15 years to a personnel other than grunt, also known as pogues. Nothing
Yeah,
bad with that, we love our pogues to support the infantry, all the way. But that mindset, that 15-year mark, it was hard. It
hmm,
was hard, and if I would have got out as a ground combat element, you know, it would have been extremely tough. I'm
hmm.
glad I did it 8 years ago before I actually got out of the military because as a postal guy, I've been able to go work with the USPS, work with other industries, civilian industries, and my mindset has been changing since then. So I'm thankful for
I
that.
love that.
Yeah, I'm thankful
Yeah.
for that. Recently, you know, this year in February, I did lost my brother, due to suicide. It was tough. It was tough, and now getting out of the military, I'm glad that I have the support. And one of the big supporters that I have is not just my friends, but it's organizations like this.
Yeah.
That we have instructors like Doc, artillery guy over here, ground side, fucking go getter that understands, what that means.
Sure.
What that means in regards to shit. This guy had his brother commit suicide. I understand that because I've been there. Their friends have committed suicide as well. So the understanding and the compassion that they have, for somebody like me getting out, it's been, it's been great, man. It's been
Yeah, I
awesome.
appreciate you sharing that, and condolences on your brother as well. I know that's tough, so I appreciate you putting that out there because, as I mentioned, there's a lot of viewers and listeners that would be like, "Wow, man, these guys have been there." And so, for the fellow Marines and veterans that watch and listen to this show, to your point, that are literally transitioning from combat theaters of operation at whatever era you served into a civilian world, I think that your point's well taken. Is that segue, right? If you don't have time to decompress, if you don't have time to put shit in perspective, and you're just going straight from combat theaters of operation to civilian life, back on the block, if you will, it hits a lot of guys really really hard. So the fact that you were able to become you said postal or become a pogue. It's funny you said that. I haven't heard that in a while, but the fact that you were able to do that, you're saying really helped you out in terms of being able to kind of put things in perspective, have more of a stable, office environment, if you will,
Yeah.
and before you finally PCS and not PCS, EAS and transferred out, you're saying helped you significantly.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.